Good morning. It's the morning of day 55, Friday, the 16th. And I slept in a little bit. It's 8 a.m. or just about. But when I came out to turn the sauna on, it was a beautiful pink sky, which was so nice. Pink skies make me think of my joy guide, Ernest, who I met in a shamanic meditation many years ago. And in that meditation, I was at a drum circle and pink paint it was like a very serious drum circle, it felt like. And all the tones were like browns and sepias and like dark night with just firelit, and then pink paint got poured onto a drum, and as the drum was being played, pink paint splattered everywhere. And after that, I had a series of things happen, including spilling pink nail polish all over the place. But it was like a reminder to not take life too seriously. So when I see pink skies, I always think of joy, and a reminder to be joyful. And I'm waking up feeling pretty good. It's day 3 of the fast, and I slept pretty well. I had a little bit of trouble getting to sleep, but I was sleeping pretty well, having lots of dreams. And hopefully today is the day that we sign paperwork on our new house, or a lease, but new to us rental house. So fingers crossed. Just having a lot of faith and trust that everything is happening as it's meant to. I was feeling just some of that anxiety last night, so I did a sound healing ceremony. And it ended up kind of being a sound healing ceremony for my pup, because she decided she wanted to come in the room. So I just bumped her up. That's what we call it when we wrap her in blankets and get her real cozy. And did a 45-minute journey that I'm gonna post. So by the time this video is out, it will have been posted. And I'm trying to figure out how to get a microphone so that I can get better sound for my instruments and my voice, and that's the next step. But I'm just feeling meant to put it out there. So I'm still learning, still practicing, still trying, and now I'm trying to do 2 bowls at once, and I did redo in a bowl. And last night I did notice I don't know if it was because of the fast or just the amount of energy coming through, that I was shaking a lot, like my hands were shaking. So that was kind of interesting. I also think it's just like building up the muscles everywhere, the throat, the wrist muscles, and even like just learning to turn down the brain so that I can be in the mode of the instrument. Because when I get into my brain, then something happens, like I tip the bowl, or I lose the tone, I judge myself. So it's a pretty incredible, powerful meditation practice, honestly, to just engage fully into the music, the toning, the presence of the instruments, the vibrations, the sacred geometry that's created, and get out of my head, get out of my own way. So yesterday I was listening to a talk from the Earth Keepers Summit with Bruce Lipton, and he was talking about having a job that he loved. He was looking through a microscope every day at cells and inside of cells, and he was saying that he felt like the luckiest guy in the world because he was getting to see something that nobody else was getting to see. And that it was the coolest job in the world, and he would have paid them to have that job. And his advice was that if you don't feel like that every day, what are you doing? Find a job that you love. And it was so interesting to hear that yesterday, and then be doing a sound ceremony in the same spot that 3 months prior I had done my first sound healing journey on myself. And I may have shared this in what will be yesterday's video that I haven't put together or posted yet. I just thought, wow, because it does bring me so much joy, and it's so much play, and it's so powerful, and it's so interesting, and I feel so inspired to learn other instruments and just keep playing and just keep building on this. And I think a big part of the journey of this is just sharing it in its raw form of learning, trusting and knowing that there is medicine even in its rawest form. I mean, maybe there's even more medicine in it not being polished or perfected, but in it just being the truth of my journey and of not knowing, of the great unknown, and yet somehow knowing that I'm feeling and experiencing something that I'm meant to share. I'm not meant to just keep this. It's not even possible to keep it. So it's the surrender or the super give, which I've talked about in other daily videos, which is one day my housemate and I were talking about surrender, and I said, I just feel like it feels defeatist, or it has a warlike tone. It feels like giving up in a way. But that's not what surrender is. And we looked into the etymology, and that process came up with the super give. He tells us so beautifully. It's like a transmission when he speaks it. But it is the super give because it's actively choosing to give. And I visualize it like a rose, that at the very moment that the rose is in full bloom is the very moment it starts to die. So it has to go all the way where the bloom just goes all the way to the edge. It's like the energy just falls off the edge. And it's interesting too, I connect so much with the rose as my teacher, and I'm now starting to really connect with the rose as my teacher in the music as well. There's just so much wisdom in the rose if I focus there and only there and allow it to speak. So it's weaving its way into my life in all these incredible ways. So I have a beautiful, beautiful rose bush at this house that I'm so grateful to tend to for this time, that I will miss so much when I go to the next house, but maybe that's an invitation to plant a rose. And I also keep roses in the house often and work with rose oil and rose water and rose tea. And I'm just so grateful to be working with the wisdom and the beauty and the power of this plant, and noticing it now coming through in the teaching of the music and the sacred geometry that comes through, and the way that I play the didgeridoo and these rounded sounds. And yeah, just feeling a lot of gratitude for the journey today, feeling so much gratitude for my body, for my strength, for my resilience. Like I've shared, my last couple attempts at fasting did not go well, and I've done fasts before that went well, but in the summer last year, they were not going well, and I kept feeling like this was incomplete, And with the journey of fertility, it's like I have to be very careful to make sure that I'm not doing a fast that would be unhealthy for my body and would be too extreme. So I'm just walking this path day by day, moment by moment, but I'm feeling really good about this current fast. And it's just all in noticing of the progress of the daily choices of self-care that I'm putting in. And that my body is so resilient that even when I have sometimes, you know, the last month or so hasn't been as regimented, but it has because I've been in the sauna and I've kept my morning practices and I've had this tethering piece of showing up for my health in other ways, even when I'm not always eating as great. It's like I'm still making sure that I was taking my supplements, I'm drinking clean water, I'm doing the sauna every day, I've been doing some riding, although I need to get back on the bike again. I've dialed in several things that have sustained me. So it's all a noticing. One of the biggest messages that I continue to share and continue to learn is that slowing down and taking care of ourselves and listening to the whisper of what we need, what our body needs, what our heart is calling for, what our soul is asking us to do. Slowing down and paying attention to the smallest of details in that is the magic. That's where we say to the universe, I am prepared for bigger things because I will tend to the smallest things, because I will listen to the little whisper. And that seems to amplify and speed up everything, which is just so funny. But I constantly have, all last year was the message, just slow down, slow down, slow down. And then things magnify. So once again, that's the message today, as I'm feeling some excitement and anticipation and imagining of the next best thing coming. It's also a moment to really slow down and really soak in the gratitude of this place and this experience in my body here and now, in this clarity that is coming through fasting. So happy Friday. And if you have not checked out the latest sound healing, it will be posted by the time you are seeing this video. So I just recommend you close your eyes and listen and see what happens. Sending love. So we just left the downtown Whole Foods, which I didn't realize that was the one I had put in the map. And I had to park in a parking garage, and just a little bit more busy and more steps, parking tickets, all of these things. And I'm just noticing that it wasn't that long ago that I would have had a lot of anxiety. I would have maybe even bailed and just gone to the other Whole Foods rather than having to add steps to the process and not knowing my way around. And it was also interesting because it was like driving around the city. I was like, oh, I love this city. But then I also recognized, like, I only come into the city like maybe once a month. I mean, I drive through it, but it's all just a noticing and like the availability for my nervous system to like have more attention or to react or just to kind of panic. I used to experience a lot of panic attacks at various times in my life. And it used to be like once I had one panic attack, then it was more likely that I was going to have another until I like restabilized. And I Boston. I didn't see that happening because the chaos of the city felt like too much. But now I've really grown to like love that energy, and then also recognize my desire to be in more close contact with nature, so that when I go into the city I can appreciate that, and then on a daily basis I'm living in a place that nurtures my nervous system, that helps me to maintain regulation of my nervous system, to be calm, to feel that peace and serenity and the natural flow, the circadian rhythm. So it's just kind of an interesting day to be driving around, and I feel like because it's day 3 of the fast, I have like more clarity, and yeah, it's just interesting to notice how much I've changed in the last few years, particularly in the last year, of really taking care of myself and listening, so that I could be more available to noticing and less reactive. And I think that's really where the superpower lies, is noticing the availability to the panic or the stress, but just getting curious about it or hearing it and not needing to react. Just allowing the information to come through and to maintain a sense of presence and calm, because when the panic hits, that's like getting completely in the brain and totally lost. And I think I've developed enough skills and a rapport with myself, of showing up for myself, of tending to myself in the smallest ways, that when those little signals start triggering, those little protector parts of me start triggering, saying, oh no, you're not safe, this is not good, we've had panic attacks here before, this is not what we thought we had planned, you know, there's extra steps, this is just too much. It's like, okay, I hear you, thank you, and I've got this. So it feels like a gift to enter a little bit of chaos today and to go into a grocery store during a fast and enjoy the smells and the sights and be totally okay and not in suffering, because I'm choosing, because I'm practicing, because I'm building this relationship and this muscle to myself, to fasting. And that feels really beautiful. It's that time of day. I'm having my shake for the day. Day 3 of Full Temple Reset Fast. It's going great. I had the Mentally Fit study call, and that went really great. Got to share some of the journey and my gratitude for Eric and getting to work with him for the last 3 years, and how I'm seeing it all play out, like in these videos. And still sitting with the decision of doing the summit for Fit for Service or the Shamangelical training, because they now land at the same time. So still have not signed papers on the new house, but we continue to get confirmation that it's moving forward. So I would just love to sign it to feel more secure there. And I posted sound healing journey. This is like my 3rd journey I've posted, and I've just got to get something figured out with the video and the sound, but one step at a time. I'll get there. It feels good, courageous, raw, vulnerable to just put it out there. But that's how we grow and how we learn and how we make ourselves more available to what's real and true and beautiful. So I'm gonna watch the Great British Bake Off, which that's what time it is, and have my shake, and then I'm thinking about doing another sound healing ceremony tonight. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
The button. Lima, push the button.
You want a treat?
There you go.
Caterpillar.